Welcome back to our Python Basics series. Today we're talking about inputs. The reason I wanted to include these in this series is because it enables you to do a lot of cool things in your code. So let's take a look at how we use them. Okay, we're in Visual Studio Code, so we can take a look at input. The input function allows user input. To use it, we simply call input and pass in a string that represents a default message before the input. We can store that information in a variable for future use. For example, let's create a variable named name and set it equal to the input function. Now let's pass a string into the input function saying enter your name. And then we'll say : space. In order to see what this is actually doing, let's go ahead and come down here and print out name. We can also print the type of name. By default, the input function returns a string. This means that it's going to print the name and then it's going to print the type as a string. When we run this, you'll see that it prompts us with the input saying enter your name. Let's go ahead and enter my name, which is Mitchell. Once I hit enter, you'll see that it continues with lines 2 and 3 of the code and it prints out my name and then it tells me it's a string. Let's come back up in our code and show another cool example of using this feature. If you remember back to our string video, we can use concatenation to combine our name with another string. For example, let's say print, and then we'll say hi, comma, and then we'll add our name, and then we'll say exclamation mark. Now when we run this, it'll prompt us for our name, where we can type in Mitchell, and it prints hi, comma, space, Mitchell, exclamation mark. Now let's come back up and do one more example. For this one, let's create a variable named age and set that equal to an input and say enter your age. If we came down here and we printed age and we printed the type of age, you'll see that when we run it, it asks for our age where we can type in 23 and it comes back as a string. If you remember back to our previous videos on data types, we discussed built-in functions. We have the ability to combine those built-in functions with the input function. In our specific example, what if we want our age to be an integer instead of a string? What we can do is come up in our code and wrap the input with our int function. To do this, we can just type in int and then wrap the whole thing in parentheses. Now the input will ask for our age and then convert it to an int before saving it to the variable age. Now when we run it, it asks for our age and we can enter 23, but now it'll tell us that it's an integer. You're able to do the same thing with other data types, such as floats. This was pretty quick, but having the ability to solicit user input is super powerful and you can build some really cool things. In our next video, we're going to be talking about imports. Thank you for watching and please like, comment, share, and subscribe.